Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow reptiles, to Ask Rep Q&A number 18, where you guys ask me questions in form of video responses and I give you guys answers. So let's jump right into your guys' questions.
Hi, Mr. Repzion. I've been an atheist for over about 2 years, and I've been a secret atheist. My parents and family don't know. I was wondering how to tell them, because they are very religious, especially my grandfather. He was quote-unquote saved by Jesus, and I was just wondering how you think I should tell them. I would really appreciate it. Thank you.
My question to you is, do you really need to tell your religious parents that you are an atheist? And the reason that I ask this question is because, and I'm not saying this to instill fear into you, I don't know you personally, and I don't know your family personally. Usually, if I met your family, I could probably tell if coming out to them as an atheist would be a good or bad thing. Because, sad to say, there are radical Christian families who, when their son or daughter comes out as gay, disown them. They outcast them because of their sexuality. In the same way, there are radical Christian families who, when they find out that their son or daughter does not believe in the same things that they do, they disown them. They kick them out of the house. And I covered a story, I think it was about 9 months ago, regarding a family that kicked out their 11-year-old daughter out of their home, and Child Protective Services had to step in because they kicked out their 11-year-old daughter because she said she didn't believe in God. Now, I'm not saying this to instill fear into you and saying that's what your family is going to do, but these are things that you have to consider. Is it really worth telling your family that you're an atheist? Do you know your mom and dad well enough to know that they're going to love and accept you for who you are, whether you believe in what they believe or not? You know your father and mother more than anyone, and based upon that, you need to make the assessment if your father and mother have good qualities. And by good qualities, meaning that they're not going to outcast you as their son simply for believing something different.
Hi Daniel, what's up? So my question for you is, what are your thoughts on marriage? And I know it's kind of a girly question, but I'm really curious about what you think would your wedding look like if you ever would get married to a girl, I don't know. Yeah, just basic and simple. Yeah, that's my elephant t-shirt, woo!
What would my wedding look like? Well, I only have a few things. You know, if I get married to someone, I don't give a living shit. Sorry if there's voices in the background. It's screaming kids running down the hallway in my apartment complex. If I was to have a wedding, I only have a few things that I would want. I don't give a shit what the woman that I'm marrying, what she wants for the wedding. She can do all the designing, she can have it any way she wants, I don't care. All I want is I want both of us to have Converse when we get up on stage, and when we walk off the wedding aisle, the throne room, or actually no, I take that back. When she walks down the aisle, I want the Star Wars throne room theme song to play, and when we walk out of the aisle, I also want the same throne music to play. That is in Star Wars Episode 4. That's all I want for my wedding. In regards to what do I think of marriage, pretty simple. To me, I look at marriage as a set of vows. Not a religious set of vows, but a vows to the person that you're with in terms of commitment and dedication. I look to marriage as a construct where you want to be with this person for the rest of your life, hopefully, and you marry them because you want to spend your whole life with them, and that marriage is a beneficial growth experience for you and her, to where you two serve one another, you love one another, you grow with one another, you have experience with one another throughout the rest of your life. That, to me, is what true marriage is about. It's commitment and dedication to one another. It's love and serving, compassion, mercy, and growth all throughout your life while you're married to that individual. I will also say that I think that marriage is also one of the most biggest decisions of your fucking life, and that whoever you marry, whoever I marry, it needs to be someone who you know is the right person, someone who you know is going to be good for you, and that you're good for them.
This is my question for Ask Mr. Repzion number 18. My question is, how would you approach religion, or how do you think it should be approached in the schools? Because I'm an atheist like you, and how would you like to see, or how would you envision schools approaching the topic of religion and atheism and all that stuff?
Here's the thing about that. I don't believe that schools should teach any specific ideology. That includes promoting or teaching atheism. I believe that schools should teach evolution, what evolution is, how it works, and ultimately remain neutral on the topic of, did an intelligent designer start evolution? Did an intelligent designer create the world? Is the Bible true? It is left up to the students to decide. I don't believe it's the school's job to push forth any ideology or any specific belief or ideology other than teaching what we know regarding science, what we know about evolution, what's already been established, what we know about the Big Bang, background radiation, things like that. I strongly believe in the separation of church and state. Evolution needs to be taught in schools. Creationism needs to stay in the fucking church. It really boils down to that.
Hi, Mr. Repzion. My question for you is how you feel about body modification and, for example, piercings and stretchers and microdermals and tattoos and stuff like that. So I was just wondering your thoughts on that. And also I was wondering how far do you think is too far, when dealing with this kind of subject?
I absolutely love tattoos, body modifications, piercings, all that stuff. That's one of my most favorite things. In fact, that's a really big preference. I love people with piercings and tattoos. Tattoos is a huge thing that I'm like, if I see a girl with tattoos, I'm like, I like her. That's awesome. In fact, I'm planning on getting a couple tattoos myself. I'm going to get a Triforce eventually right here, a very small Triforce. I'm also going to get a Deadpool tattoo at one point, and eventually a Boba Fett tattoo, and an Empire insignia tattoo, along with some text written on my arm that says love in Sith ancient language. Yes, I'm that much of a Star Wars fan that I actually want a language that doesn't actually exist written on my arm. I love tattoos. In regards to how far is too far in regards to piercings and tattoos, in tattoos, I don't really think you can go too far with tattoos. Well, for me personally, I think I could. But, if someone wants to cover their entire body head to toe in tattoos and that's what they want, they should be able to do that. There should be no judgment from anybody, someone being repulsed. Oh my god, you're covered in tattoos, you disgusting. I'm not like that. I don't believe anybody should be like that. In regards to body modifications, though, that's a different area. Because body modifications in regards to how far is too far, there's a photo someplace on the internet that I've seen of a guy who has his entire body, by entire body, he looks like he's wearing a metal plate on his body of rings all on his shoulder, every place. His entire body is metal with these gigantic piercings. That to me is an extreme thing. That's to me you couldn't work a normal job looking like that or feeling like that. You just can't work in a normal environment when you have so many piercings that you only can see the person's eyeballs and their nose and their arm, their fingers. That's about all you can really see, and everything else is covered in these gigantic piercings that look extremely painful. It's even on their penis of all things. But if that's what people want to do, I'm not judging them. I mean, all I saw when I saw that photo of the guy, I wish I could find it, was how does he have sex?
Hey, Mr. Repzion. I noticed you seem to have a fairly good relationship with your brother and your mom and other family members and Christian people. And I just wanted to know what has been your experience with that, and what type of advice would you give to people who are maybe in a similar situation where they want to maintain relationship with people who have way different views than them?
That is correct. I have a very strong relationship with my brother and my mother, both of whom are extremely devoutly religious. Now, it's kind of interesting how our relationship works, because I've never ever attempted to talk to my brother about atheism and why I don't believe in what he believes. We've never had that conversation ever. He knows what I believe because he watches my videos. He knows what I've been through, and he knows why I believe what I believe. And that's enough for him. My mom's the same way. My mom would accept me no matter if I was gay, if I was missing part of both my legs. My mom would still love me and accept me for exactly who I am, whether I believe in evolution, whether I'm a Satanist, whether I'm religious or not. And how did I get to that point? Well, it's kind of challenging because not all parents are the same. There are parents who, when you talk to them about you believing something different than them, they get so offended that they honestly think, and I mentioned this in my start of the video, they will disown you because they just simply disagree with you. And in regards to parents like that, there's really not much you can do. I'm sorry to say, there's not much you can do. What I can suggest, and I can say this is what strengthened my relationship with my mother, is that when I came out of Christianity, I told my mom that I love my mom, I care for my mom, and although I don't believe what she believes, I still want to have a relationship with my mother. Because for some reason, parents seem to think, or at least even children or teens seem to think, that if you don't all agree on the same thing, you can't have a healthy relationship, and this is just simply not the case. I have plenty of friends who are religious who believe the complete opposite of almost everything. I think it ultimately boils down to you sitting down with your family or mother or father or whoever it is, and you basically tell them that I don't believe, in a very respectful manner, that I don't believe what you believe, but I still want to maintain that relationship with you. And it puts the answer on them on how they're going to deal with it, because they can either choose to accept you or reject you. That's really the only two ways it's going to go. And hopefully they accept you, but in many cases, Christian families don't. And when that happens, there's not a lot you can do, and hopefully you have close friends or other family members who maybe are non-religious who can help you talk out your issues or things like that. Because it can be very devastating when you believe something different and your entire family just says, fuck you, we don't want to have a relationship with you because you believe differently. Anyways, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Ask Rep Q&A number 18. Thank you for watching. My name is Daniel Sosbach, also known as Mr. Repzion. As always, I got a bunch of more videos responses that I got from episode 18 that I couldn't include because it would make this video super long. I'm trying to make them under 15 minutes. In any case, please ask me any question either on Twitter, title it #AskRep, or send me a video response. Post the video response down below in the description of this video right here, this comments. Post your video response and I will go through the comments. I will click that video and I will try to download your video and include it in this next video, Ask Rep Q&A number 19. Just be sure to say Ask Rep Q&A 19, #19, and I will find it when I search it on YouTube. So thank you guys for watching. As always, I'm Daniel Solzbach, also known as Mr. Repzion. Peace, the rep out.